We work for the union.
What union? So what, you guys like the FBI or something?
Yeah. Except we do all the work. Mike! You're welcome!
You're welcome.
Hey there, welcome to Movie Recap Universe. Today, we're going to explain the 2024 movie, The Union. Let's begin the story. The movie kicks off with what looks like regular hotel staff going about their business. But here's the twist. They're actually undercover agents from a covert organization known as The Union. Their mission? To retrieve a briefcase carrying highly sensitive data. Outside the hotel, Roxanne, the mission leader, is playing mission control over a voice call, guiding them through the operation.
45 seconds, I want to be in and out. Vehicle team, be ready to move.
The team bursts into the target's room, captures the unlucky guy holding the intel, and everything seems to be going smoothly, until their getaway van decides to explode in a blaze of chaos. With their plan in tatters, team leader Nick Faraday scrambles to get his agents out. But just when they think things can't get worse, a sniper starts picking them off like it's Duck Hunt.
Nick, where are you?
Helpless, Roxanne watches from afar as Nick and the captive are taken out, ending the mission in total disaster. The story then moves to Mike, who wakes up after spending the night with a woman who used to be his 7th grade teacher. Awkward, right? He heads over to his mum's place where she finds out about his night and asks him about his friend's wedding, which is coming up in 2 weeks. Mike then heads to work, starting his car with hot wiring and a screwdriver. He's a construction worker, and you'll often find him working on tall buildings. Later that night, Mike's hanging out with his friends at a bar when Roxanne suddenly appears. After failing her last mission, she's now ready to pull Mike into a new one. She follows him into the bar, and it turns out they already know each other. They went to high school together. Mike even had a huge crush on her back then. Roxanne convinces him to hop on her motorcycle, and they ride off to chat about old times. Mike tells her he was in love with her, but she left him, and he felt totally abandoned. He plays a song on his phone that reminds them of their romantic past, and they share a hug. But just when things get cozy, Roxanne surprises him by injecting a tranquilizer, knocking him out cold. Her team then whisks him off to their headquarters in London. When Mike wakes up in London, Roxanne casually admits she knocked him out and brought him there.
Welcome to London, Mikey.
Mike, still groggy, is more concerned about getting to work before he's fired. But, as he steps out of the fancy hotel, he runs into Tom Brennan, the head of the organization. Tom introduces himself and hands Mike the keys to his Range Rover for him to use. Pretty cool, right? Mike heads out for breakfast, but things quickly get messy as he's not used to driving on the other side of the road in London and nearly causes a few accidents.
You might want to try driving on the right side.
Oh shit, whoa, shit!
Over breakfast, Mike, curious about why they even picked him, asks about this secret group called The Union. They explain that they don't just go after experts or top-tier talent. Instead, they look for regular people like Mike, those who don't draw attention. The goal is to create a hidden team of adaptable folks, mainly from the working class, and basically a nobody. While Mike's still processing all of this, Roxanne pulls out some intel on a former CIA agent who went rogue with classified information. Their new mission? To track him down and recover that data. Next, Mike gets a full tour of the Union's headquarters, where all their secret operations happen. While in the elevator, Roxanne fills him in on Juliet Quinn, an information broker who's been selling classified data on the black market in London. Brennan, the boss of the Union, jumps in to explain that in 2 weeks, some very sensitive info will be auctioned off. This is where Mike's role becomes crucial. The stolen data includes details on every military, police, and intelligence agent worldwide, and it absolutely cannot end up in the wrong hands, especially terrorists. Mike then dives into some serious training with the Union. We're talking combat, shooting, pro-driving, stealth moves, and learning how important it is to trust your teammates. This even includes him running across rooftops, blindfolded, trusting only Roxanne's voice to guide him. After 2 weeks of intense drills, Mike finally hits the mark and is cleared for his very first mission. Mike's first mission is to secure a special device containing critical information in exchange for $5 million in cash. It's a blind auction, so every bidder gets a secure, encrypted device to place their bids remotely. With the cash and a verifiable bank account in hand, Mike's set to make the deal. Roxanne and the team keep a watchful eye on him from a distance, ready to step in if things go sideways. As Mike heads to the meeting spot, another informant leads him off course. That's when the Union realizes they aren't the only ones chasing this intel. With time running out, Roxanne and the crew race to catch up with Mike to avoid a complete disaster. Even with all the confusion, Mike somehow winds up in a bar, where he retrieves the phone holding the valuable data and hands over the cash to a towering guy who's likely tied to the source of the intel. As soon as Mike steps out of the bar, he's immediately hunted down by men looking to kill him and steal the intel. Roxanne jumps in, guns blazing, and chaos erupts. With bullets flying, Mike takes off running, diving into a building where a live performance is going on. He slips outside, only to be met by two motorcyclists aiming to take him out. Just when it seems like the end, a truck driven by two Union members crashes into the scene, knocking the bikers out cold. Mike's troubles aren't over though. He soon gets tangled up with a Russian woman who's a fierce martial artist.
Whoa, miss, hey!
During their struggle, his phone containing the valuable data slips into the water. As she's about to choke him out, Roxanne arrives in the nick of time, taking her down with one swift hit. They make their getaway in a garbage truck, where two more Union team members are waiting inside. Back at their base, Mike and Roxanne discover that the phone is toast. Literally, the chip inside is as useful as a soggy toast, and they're left with nothing but a very expensive paperweight. Roxanne and Brennan decide they need to go shopping for a replacement phone, but this time, they'll be shopping from other groups who are also hunting for the same intel. It turns out, 5 countries, including North Korea, Syria, Iran, and China, are all eager to get their hands on it. They plan a stealthy nighttime operation to infiltrate the Korean group's hideouts. During the mission, Mike manages to grab the phone from a fleeing suspect. However, upon returning to their van, they discover their IT specialist, Athena, has been killed, with a photo of their base hidden in her clothes. They realize that their workplace has been compromised. As Roxanne tries to warn Brennan, their base is hit by an explosion, leaving them to believe everyone there, including Brennan, is dead. Roxanne and Mike check into a hotel to regroup and plan their next move. The next day, Brennan calls Roxanne with the good news that he's still alive and that they need to jump into the auction action soon. The FBI is putting the heat on them, demanding they either grab the information from the auction or face the end of their organization. To buy some time, Brennan assigns Mike and Roxanne a mission. At the auction venue, they discover Juliet Quinn, the information broker, is in charge. Mike and Roxanne manage to coerce Juliet into handing over the briefcase. Just as they're about to make their exit, the doorbell rings. Surprise! It's Nick Faraday, who somehow survived his river ordeal. Nick spills the beans that Brennan is the mole in the organizations and he's working with the terrorists. While Nick promises to deal with Juliet, Mike and Roxanne decide to keep the briefcase's existence a secret from Brennan. On their way back, Mike and Roxanne have a heated argument about their past. Mike learns Roxanne was previously married to Nick, which only adds fuel to his frustration. He storms off and heads to a bar to call his friends about the upcoming wedding, clearly in need of a drink. The next day, Mike and Roxanne are waiting at a bridge for Faraday to make his grand entrance. But surprise, surprise, Faraday has pulled a fast one. He swapped the real briefcase for a fake one and is now playing the role of the ultimate double-crossing mole.
I had to cover my escape.
Faraday's on the run, trying to sell the data to the highest bidder. Meanwhile, the FBI closes in, realizing the briefcase is a dud. In a dramatic twist, Roxanne chucks the fake briefcase, and she and Mike make a daring escape by leaping off the bridge and landing on a ship. They manage to shake off the FBI and police. Thanks to Mike's friend at Newark Airport, they quickly arrange a cargo flight to Istria, where Nick is heading. During the flight, their relationship starts to heat up. Talk about turbulence of a different kind. Back on the ground, Brennan is left holding the bag, framed by Nick, and now under FBI interrogation. Let's just say he's not having a great day. In Istria, Mike and Roxanne are hot on the trail of Faraday and Juliet. Roxanne steps in to stop Nick from closing the shady deal with an Iranian terrorist. As Nick tries to make a getaway, he attacks Roxanne, sparking a wild chase with Mike in tow. But Mike heroically rescues the briefcase and takes on the terrorists in a heart-pounding fight. After a tense chase, Mike loses the briefcase but manages to recover it. Roxanne and Mike corner Nick by the dock just as he's about to hand over the intel to the terrorists. Roxanne takes him out with a shot and retrieves the briefcase. In the final scene, Mike shows up at his friend's wedding with Roxanne and they look genuinely happy together. Brennan thanks them for their heroics and hints at future missions. As the movie wraps up, Mike and Roxanne leave the wedding, ready to enjoy some time together. Well, that's the end of this recap. Consider subscribing for more stories. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.